agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
Yeah, I'm singing my own song. Good morning, and good morning to you. You are here with Senabella on Coffee Break, and we are live, and I'm excited to be here. I'm more excited than normal because it's been like a trying week, hasn't it? Oh my God. So, we have to deliver ourselves from the fires and all of the storms and all of the things that keep us sort of embraced in its like negativity, and say, you know what, get back up off of me. And we got to say, stop and listen for the sign of the times. Pay attention, don't you hear the cry? It's a brand new day. It's good to be alive. You have survived. Ain't it good to be alive? I know I'm glad. Hey, how you doing, coffee breakers and all of my new guests? Anyone in the room, feel free to come on in, comment and share, like and follow. Please do. And just enjoy this here great morning. I've got a wonderful guest here with me this morning by Henri Salas Chillers, and she is the most booked commercials and film free agent right now that we can talk about. And she's going to come in. But I just want to start my morning off with, of course, as much as I love my opening song, I got to bring to you that spirit so we can kind of have that moment of just saying, you know what? I want to wake up feeling beautiful. Are you awoke? Do you feel beautiful? What's keeping you down? Let's just kind of go into that. I'm going to take a little nod from moments of just relaxation as I sing it. I want to wake up feeling beautiful. 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 Feel beautiful. I want to wake up with the sun in my eyes and joy in my heart. I want to wake up feeling beautiful. I want to wake up feeling beautiful. Feel beautiful, beautiful. Feel beautiful, beautiful. Feel beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I want to wake up feeling beautiful. Ooh. And let me say, I've had to do that quite a few times this week. It was challenging, but I made it through. And so to celebrate, I'm raising my coffee cup, and it says, I have to work hard so my cat can have a better life. Well, to this one, I'm going to dedicate this better life to me, like you should for you. And take a sip. So what is it that drives us? What is it that helps us to catapult towards the goals that we set? And what is it that sets a goal for us? Is it our dreams and our aspirations? And some may say it's the path. Some say destiny. So how do we arrive to that? When we jump on a bus or we get on a train or we get in our cars, we always know there's a destination we go to. These days we use GPS if we don't want to use our own thinking to advance to where we're going, so that we get there on in good time. It'll give us all the directions, and it'll also tell us if the cops are near. It'll tell us where traffic is stopped up. It's going to give us directions to redirect ourselves. It's going to be like the main person in the car, the main thought process in the car. It's already programmed in there for you. But how do you overcome the challenges of trying to direct your life in the area and in the way that you want to go? And sometimes as we get older, and I remember being older to me at 21 was like, oh my God, I'm 21, I'm going to be 25. And how am I going to do this and do that? And I was just trying to figure out the terrain. It was like, I knew I had a lot to do, and I was already doing a lot because I'd gotten married early and I'd already had my children by 21, all 4 of them. Yes, I did. And so life was rushing at me. But as I became more of a mother and I became more of a community person, I became more guided by spirit, and I was becoming more aware of what my mother had brought me into my life in terms of, say, religion or, say, a forecast of life. I began to think about, well, what do I want to do? Well, today's guest is going to talk about what she wanted to do, what she was led to, and how she has become what she has. I'm very excited to bring her in, and I want to say to you that just go ahead and comment and learn from Henri Salas Chillers. Welcome her to the stage. Hey, Henri.
Hey, girl, how you doing?
I'm good. Look at you.
Look at you.
I got your colors on.
Girl, I know. Look. And I was vibing to your song while you were singing it. And oh my goodness. And I was vibing to it on the intro. Had my eyes all closed.
Okay, go ahead and sing, Henri. I'm ready.
No, we are not ready. Not this early. Only for you. Only for you I got up this early.
Okay. You know what? I don't think so, because you've been on a lot of planes and trains and buses to get to where you had to go. So I appreciate you even saying that. It means the world to me.
Thank you. It means the world to me. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad we finally connected. This has been a long time coming.
Yes. I mean, I hate to say it every time I know someone, but this time I really know somebody. This sister and I, we go back like way back.
Way back.
Please, I'm like way back to that. Right?
That's right, girl. Way. Ooh.
Same boyfriend.
Way back. Oh my goodness, girl, yes. Like, over 40 years. Yeah. Who said that?
I'm okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't never been ashamed of my game. When I had all my children, I couldn't wait to be a grandmother. I was thinking of grandmother in my 30s.
Girl, I am the same too. I never not tell anybody my age. I'm so proud of it. Like, just being able to say that I'm 65. Me and one of my childhood friends was talking, and we act the same way we do when we were 15. We just talk about different stuff, like, what's going on. But our kids even just look at us and like, who are you? So no, I love it. And I cannot wait to get wiser, and I cannot wait to live longer. So this is it.
And remember when we were younger, we thought that old was like 50.
Yeah. But now they think old is like 30.
Before 50, right? You were trying to get everything done before 50, like 50. And you didn't look at your mom and dad and think, what had they done? What were they thinking?
Absolutely. Like, what am I going to do? I got to do something. Yes. It's always seemed like it was a rush, especially for one of our friends that we had in common. It's like, okay, slow down. I know what you want to do. Like, come on. Like, but rush. That's how we thought. That's the way life was.
And I think there was a lot of inspiration that was driven from our associative relationships and the things we were doing in the world, that we were more in common than we thought. We thought it was through some work or some association with knowing somebody. But the truth is,
Absolutely.
we're all catapulting towards either destiny, direction, the forward for our lives. In our thinking, in the back of our minds, we kept thinking about, what do I want? What do I want?
Yes.
Yeah.
But don't you feel though too that the time that we grew up in, that was kind of like expected? Like I know it was very few of my friends that actually didn't have the same pattern of thinking. It's like, the days of peer pressure. You weren't peer pressured into anything. It's like you wanted to do it or you didn't. And then your friends, they didn't care if you did it or if you didn't, you were still friends. So it was that mindset that I call it like the 70, 80 mindset, where we thought different than people do now.
When the friends didn't, if you did something, you made up and you got back together, right?
That's
or
it.
You didn't think about it that much. It's amazing. I hadn't thought about that.
That's it. I know, right? It's a difference. It's a difference. And I just love the fact that I was a part of that. And I've seen it come to full fruition, like even with my children and things like that. It's beautiful.
Yeah. What's really cool is when we get a chance to stop and call each other and reflect on things. Like we did last year. Was it last year or whenever it was? We had the longest conversation. I think we said
3 hours and 45 minutes. I remember I was like, girl, we've been on the phone 3 hours and 45 minutes. But when you don't catch up, that's the beauty. Look, we caught up with everything in 3 hours and 45 minutes and was talking and laughing, my cheeks hurting from smiling and everything. It was just a beautiful thing. I love the fact of being able to connect with people that meant something in your life or that mean something in your life or they're doing things that just inspire you. And you are truly one of those people.
Here's one of those people for us this morning. Tracy Kincaid is on saying, good morning, Tracy.
Hey.
And then we find out we have mutual friends. We're not even back together yet, but then we end up having mutual friends, right?
Yeah.
And we're all on the same train. We're all on the same train, right? Because in my early days, I was modeling, I was acting, I was doing voiceovers, I was doing outdoor poster ads. Hey, Juanita Clemens, come on now.
I remember, girlfriend. I remember all the stuff you was doing. I remember the little spicy pictures and everything.
Well, please, it was something to have an outdoor poster board and to stand at the train going to work and your pictures like splattered everywhere. It was a big deal. But for real, I keep telling people, as much as I loved it, I love making that money.
Yes. Yes.
For me, I never thought that there would be like a real career in any of it.
Wow.
All I was thinking about was, you think I look good for that? Okay, cool. You think I can say that? All right, I'm going over here. Oh, you think I can sing that? I'll just fake my way all the way through everything. Do you hear me? And I remember always overdressing. I overdressed for everything. I showed up like I was already dying.
No, you were fabulous. Like you come to movie night with a fox stole around your shoulder and the sunglasses on and the stilettos and the Gloria Vanderbilt jeans and
Yes, that's you. That's you, Henri.
That was you too. Only you did it with such swag and such class. It's like, okay, I see you. I see you.
We didn't have social media to help, so we had to impact statement.
Yes.
Impact. So Juanita Clemens says, good morning to you.
Good morning, Juanita. Hi, girlfriend. I'm so glad you got up early and tuned in.
And Tracy said, help her to get her start in background acting. She got something. She's really going at. We're gonna get you, Tracy.
Yeah.
Henri, you have had a phenomenal forward as in where you are. The 50 thing actually, I don't know if we should go all the way back here, but can we start at 50? Like they say fabulous over 50 now. It's like it's a campaign. Everybody wants the 50 plus person now, right?
That's what they say.
Yeah, but they don't know what that really looks like, right?
I don't. You know what? It's not okay. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it like I feel like I've always been in a fabulous 50 for like years. I could not wait to hit 50. When I was 45, I'm like, I can't wait till I hit 50. I met this phenomenal couple when I was on a cruise with my deceased husband. Andre Salas, and he was with V103 for 15 years. Mm-hmm. And we were on a cruise and we met the coolest couple, man. I think we were like 33, 34, and we met this couple, and they lived in Elgin, and they were just, it was a seniors cruise, and we didn't know we booked a seniors cruise because he was entertainment for it. So, you know what it was? I think it was the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage. It was I think it was the very first one that started. And we were just in a group of people that was 50s, girls like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And they were just hitting it, man. I thought like I was in heaven. Girl, we were changing clothes 7 times a day. And it was wonderful. But we were at a table with this group of 50s. And I was like, this is it. And I was looking at my husband like, this is the way we going to be, right? We going to be in the fabulous 50s. And I have just loved it ever since. I couldn't wait. And like every day now, I just can't wait like to get better and wiser and older.
Wow. You know, obviously you did just that. You did just that, you know, and I didn't get married to Mr. V103. I remember I had my second marriage at 50, I think it was 51. Yeah, 50.
Okay. That's beautiful.
Wait a minute. No, it was before that. I'm sorry, because I wanted to have more kids. I wanted to have 2 more kids. So it was in my 40s. Okay. I don't know where 50.
They kind of meld together, right?
I'm having memory lapse right now. Like, I don't know what happened. I really don't. Don't ask me no questions.
I remember when V103 was just like first starting, and I remember they had us do the jingle. We did the jingle for free, and it was up there for like, I don't know when they stopped using it, but it was like V10103, V103, and we just did it playing, and they kept it, and they kept using it, and I was like, okay. And my husband was like, look, people could hear your voice. I'm like, they don't know it's me. So
what's great about it is that, well, I'm gonna tell you what's bad about it. They did a lot of things. They asked us to do a lot of things for free. Now they probably were getting a check. We didn't. Of
course, absolutely.
Yes. When I realized checks were supposed to be in the mail, I was like, no, I need to get paid. You couldn't ask me to do too much, you know. So I got paid for doing fashion runways. I got paid for commercials. I got paid for doing
things like that. Mm-hmm.
I didn't care if it was $250, which it generally was.
I think even less, because like when we started, we had gotten our own studio in Park Forest. We were living in Crete, and we got a studio in Park Forest. Used to be called Park Forest Plaza. Forgot what the name of it was after that. But that's when I realized how much free stuff people actually do and how much stuff people want to charge for. Like, okay, this is my going rate, and no dealing or whatever. They don't care if you're trying to be up and coming and whatever you're doing. But yeah, that's a lot of things for free. And think about it too. When we do things that are free, we think, okay, this is going to put me out there. I'm going to be out there, and and a lot of times it does work. I know for me, it's worked in that case as far as like with acting is concerned. But back then when it was just radio and you doing the voiceovers and playing like you're a contestant and things like that, it's totally different.
Well, television gave us a lot of ideas of what we thought we wanted to do.
Yes.
It was different then too. Good morning, cousin. My Dolores Ringo, my cousin. She's such a beautiful. I gotta have her on.
Hi,
Dolores. Yeah, and so Juanita says, I'm always up early. Well, Juanita, we will expect to see you all the time then. You come
good.
On, drink your coffee and get a chat in, share your thoughts with us, whatever we want to do. Let's do each other. We could do
Juanita's a beautiful person. Tracy's a beautiful person. I just feel like God has always blessed me to have beautiful people in my life. And whether it's from my disposition of being who I am, because I've been like this, and I think you can attest to that. This is me. Like I've been like this since I was like 15, 16 years old. I may have a different color hair and stuff like that, but the thing is that my personality has always been more outward than it is. It's like just growing up, emulating my mom and things like that. My mother would talk to a stone, honey. Somebody at the bus stop. Oh, somebody at the train. Also, and someone's always wanting to talk to her because she was always smiling and always so beautiful and helpful. So I am my mother's daughter.
So how did that help to frame you in terms of like where you've come to now? Like when did the real journey become visible? At what time did that happen for you?
I think the real journey for me, well, it's always been like that. I grew up one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and being one of Jehovah's Witnesses, your family members, they're always helping. They're helpful. You know, that's what their mission is when you get baptized in the religion. You're supposed to help people, and you're supposed to be understanding, and you're supposed to be a good listener. So because I was always so talkative, a lot of people didn't think that I was a really good listener, but I listened very well. You know, I was trained to do that. So just growing up around her and all of her friends and everything, you know, they'd say brothers and sisters in the congregation. They really are brothers and sisters in the congregation. And so because of that, it's always been that helpful, loving, brotherly, sisterly love. So I think the most it impacted me was like in high school, honestly, because I got into drama and, you know, I was in chorus and, you know, so just being friendly and knowing how to act and knowing how to perceive what people wanted for me, it just really laid the platform. I was thinking about that. One of my friends from high school, she said, Henri, you've always been like that. You were in drama, you were in chorus. And back then I wasn't thinking, okay, like this is something I want to do. But I always knew that I could make people smile. And I always knew that if it was somebody that they were going to like, you know, it was going to be me. And people say, oh, this person, they don't like nobody, or they don't, and they would always end up liking me. And it was just really for me being myself. So it impacted me early.
So where you are now, how long has this vibrant career in acting, how did you get to this place right now? That's what I want to get to. I want to start unpacking that journey, that the part of that journey, where it started, what was that first piece, you know, what pushed you forward the way you did? Because you had obviously been doing some things already.
Right.
Been to it. You were born in it. It was always around you, right? Let's just say,
right. It's true.
You had to swirl around. Let's get
it's true. It's full circle because, like I said, from like, you know, literally being a little child, I was always listening to things. And by the time I was like 10 years old, I could imitate anybody's accent that it was. And they used to use me as like a party trick. Like everybody come over to.
Well, do a party trick real quick before you get to, give me a voice that you imitated.
Well, it's not so much voices that I imitate. I can imitate any accent because when you talk like certain things, people know how you talk. But then there's people that are Russian, and Russian, they speak different from German because German, we're more direct. But then when you talk Asian, you talk small. And then you talk country. You can be a country girl. You can do anything that you want. You can talk like you're from France, or you can talk like you're from Spain. And it's a difference in whenever you talk. So from those ages, and my parents used to sit me in the living room and like, talk, girl, talk.
Wait a minute. Let me just give this a moment. Wait a minute. I need a moment for this. Huh? You got me on that, girl.
Girl, it's like it's been a thing. Like it's just, I'm a good listener, and you know, I could pick up any accent that anybody gives me within a minute, and I can actually imitate people too. All I need to do is be around somebody for a couple of minutes, and then I think Tracy could tell you that because we used to do that at our butterfly breast cancer meetings. And I used to sit and imitate people's voice and things. And they were like, what? Who? What? So, I never knew that it was to the point where everybody would like it, or people would come up to me and say, hey, do this voice, or do this accent, or do this. But I always knew that I was going to be doing something in the arts. But it just changed for me, because then I got the bug of making clothing and designing clothing and stuff. When I was a little girl, I used to take my sister's nightgowns and cut them up and pin them and things so they could look like me. And so I developed a love of clothing. And ironically, that's actually how I got into doing background work, because I wanted to do clothing for Empire. I wanted to be Cookie's costume designer. And so one of my friends in high school was like, hey, Empire's looking for a character to be Cookie's assistant. You always been good in school and everything. You in drama and singing. Why don't you apply for it? So I was just like, okay, I think I will. So I went to this agency. It was called 99, the Not Agency, the Unagency, or something like that. And anyway, I was in there with all of these people, and come to find out they wanted a fee. Now, the little I did know is like, you're not supposed to be paying anybody anything. They're supposed to make their commission off of your work. So I was getting ready to leave because I thought it was kind of scammy. And somebody said, look, you got an interesting look. And you said you wanted to do clothing design. You wear your own clothes and background. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, that's how it all started. I went to 4-Star Casting, and they are major in Chicago. At the time, I think we had 9 running shows. And so I'm in there and I'm making something different to wear and come into the studio, and they're like, oh, this is fantastic. I love this. I love this. I love that. And so finally I got on Empire after being on doing background with Chicago Med, PD, Fire. There was a show, Proven Innocent, mixed tapes. And so I got in there. And so the designer, or the costume designer for her, would tell me certain stuff I can't wear. Because girl, I was full force with my little fur coats with all the colors and stuff. And, oh, you can't wear that. Cookie might be wearing it. I'm like, Cookie can have this, come back again. So I looked up, Senabella, girl, I have been on set 83 times in 8 months. And they was not picking me. They wasn't picking me for clothing. They wasn't saying, so I'm like, wait a minute, if y'all not going to pick me for clothing, I've been on set 83 times, I'm going to go and get an agent. And so that's what I did. I went 2 weeks later, and she was like,
you were 83 times on set.
Now, in 8 months.
I just have to ask, were you paid 83 times?
I was. At that time, it was like a full-time job. Like,
that would be a good reason to keep showing up.
It was, but I was keeping showing up because I was like, okay, they see my clothes, they see my style, they see it. Somebody's gonna pick me. And I would ask every time I would go on set, are you looking for help in wardrobe? I can help in wardrobe. Can you look at help for wardrobe? And they were just like, go ahead, be quiet. You look cute, but we don't want you saying nothing. Girl, it got to the point where sometimes the stylist would make me change my clothes 4-5 times because she did not want me to show up and show out. And I was like, wow. And I thought that was a good thing, though. Ooh, she's going to see. She thought I wanted her job.
But I guess in many ways you kind of sort of did. But at the end of the day, when did that moment come when you say, okay, I need to do more? How did you move forward? What did you do next?
I will never forget this. I was on a 2-day assignment. It was for Lovecraft Country with Journey Smollett. And we were in period clothing because it was supposed to be in the 50s. And I remember it was a 14-hour day. And girl, we were having like a backyard party and everything. And we were dancing and all this stuff. And I remember Journey Smollett had a scene with her co-star at that time. And I was standing right by the stage. And every time they said action, boom, she just hit it. Same thing. She did the same scene about 15 times. I'm like, and she would always do it right when they said it, and everything would be exact. I'm like, I could do that. I could do that. So 2 days later, I got my strength back. I went to Gill Talent. Actually, you know what I did? I sent an email. I sent an email to 2 talent agencies. I said, these are the top 2 talent agencies. I had been seeing bookings after bookings. Oh, Gill Talent booked this person. Boom, they booked this person. And so I went to 2 agencies. I wrote them an email and I sent them pictures of me. I said, I've been on set 83 times in Chicago, and I know I can act. And these are my pictures. I don't have anything professional, but if you like what you see, these some of the shows I work on, please give me an email. And I said, I am only contacting you one time, and I have one other agency that I'm a contact. If you don't get me, I totally understand. I'm not your flavor, and I'll move on. I'll give you 7 days to respond.
Did you say, I'm not your flavor?
I'm not your flavor. I'm not. Because I'm not everybody's flavor, but it's going to be a little bit of something in there that everybody like. And so, and the 7th.
Do you think your direct attitude, was being direct like that, did that help you?
I think it did, because she called me on the 7th day and called me into.
As it relates to that, was it also part of how people viewed that Black women were anyway?
I think so. Yeah. And on that note, I think a lot of people would say I wasn't, believe it or not, I wasn't sassy enough, or I wasn't hood enough, or like my language wasn't, and that's even like in recent times, like even here, I don't know what people see when they look at me or whatever, but I am what I am. And so they were like, okay, well, I want you to say it this way, and I want you to say it that way. So I went to Gill Talent. They hired me on the spot, and I'll never forget it. Her name is April Maria, wonderful, wonderful agent. And she told me, she said, this is your career. I work for it, you work for it. She said, I can sit here all day and tap, tap, tap and submit you, but you got to submit to things too. And she said, you're going to have 50 no's before you get a yes. I was like, oh no, this is not the job for me. I'm not used to nobody telling me no.
They want to keep you inspired. You may be broke. You may be hungry. You may be wearing the same clothes 50 times, but eventually you'll get a yes. I know Patty.
Girl.
Patty is family. Is old school friend. Yeah. In fact, directed and worked in plays with her too. Yeah.
Wow. When she said that, I'm like, oh no, not me. So literally, she sent me out on an audition maybe about a week later. And if it was for a speaking role on Chicago PD, I was like, no, she didn't. So I went in there, and I remember I went in, and I went in confident, because like, I'm gonna be me. See, when you're in background, you're given certain rules. Don't talk to anybody, pantomime, don't take pictures with anybody. You're just there. You're not the main character. You're not an actor, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. So when I got in there, I always kind of felt like I was being stunted. I know it wasn't about me, but they would always pull me out and say, hey, we want you to do this, or can you do this, that? So I knew that I had the potential. I knew that I had something that they were looking for. So when I went in there and I did that, and this is kind of like a spoiler alert, but when I went in there for that audition, I remember it was a scene, I was called The Neighbor, where I heard gunshots in my home, and I ran out, and I remember the police officer was like, I only had 8 lines. It was like, what did you see? Oh, I heard 4 voices, and then I heard gunshots, and that's it. Did you hear anything else? No, sir. Okay, go back inside. Okay, that was it. That was it. 8 seconds. 8 seconds on Chicago PD.
So on that, let's take a quick break. We're gonna come back.
Okay.
Get to when the explosion started, like what you're saying here.
Okay. Right? Sounds good.
The bullet was out the gun now, right? It's ready. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break in honor of the Female Solution Network, and we're going to show you a little bit something more about female solutions. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms.
And in case you didn't notice the resemblance, we're also three sisters.
We're going to be coming to you every week, sharing our successes and our mistakes as we navigate our lives as moms, wives, sisters, daughters, and of course, Black women in today's world.
We'll talk about it all: race, politics, religion, economics, culture, and we'll take a look at everything from whether or not to use corporal punishment to how do you teach your children about sex.
Look for our upcoming book, Growing Up Charles. It's a personal story about our lives growing up in Maple Park on Chicago's South Side. I'm Barbara.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Three Black Moms.
This is one of those situations when you know they sisters, right? You look right at them and go, definitely there. I love that commercial because it really speaks to the inspiration of working together as females. Thank you, Naima, and founder of Female Solutions. Let's get back to Henri and her story, and while she's on her journey towards the stardom that she's reached in her own valued way. You ready? Let's get back. Hey, Henri, you ready?
Hi, thank you.
We only got a little time left, so we're going to have to shorten it up and get right on. I want to have some punch with this. I want to really understand how you became the most booked. Like can we move a little further into that so we can have that as a conversation?
Definitely.
Everybody's interested in trying to find out how did that happen, right? How did that? So
absolutely.
Let's go. I'm ready. Let me hear it.
It's just like I said, the 50 no's to hear yes. I was like, oh no, that's not going to happen for me. So I went in hitting it hard, like myself. Hi, how you doing? They invite me in. How you doing? Thank you for inviting me. Come in, and they do it late. Hi, my name is Henri Solis. I'm from Chicago, and I'm here in Los Angeles, California. Thank you. No one ever even said thank you. No one ever gave their personality, because you go in, you go out. So I put my personality in everything. And I was telling people the reason why I love commercial acting so much is because when I'm doing a commercial, I'm honestly me. I'm not nobody else. I'm not playing a character. I'm not having to use anybody. I might use somebody else's words if I'm speaking or if I'm talking. But all you are doing is you're acting, but you're acting like yourself. So I don't have to, if I memorize a line, I say the lines like Henri would say them. If I'm getting ready to hug a grandchild or whatever, and I'm a grandma, I hug a child like they're my grandchild. So being myself is what got me in the door. And at that time, I was booking 7 out of 10 auditions, and nobody was like, how are you doing it? I said, I'm just like being by myself. But I'm going to tell you this one thing. 3 times.
7 out of 10 auditions.
7 out of 10. I'm still like, well, in Chicago, honestly, it was kind of like 8 out of 10.
Get out of here.
But then when I came to LA, I was new. Like I was a little fish in a big pond. So I got it down to 7 out of 10. And I used.
Wait a minute, but you went to LA and you only dropped a point. Okay, I get you. I get you. You that person. They've been looking for you. I've been waiting for you. They've been looking for you.
Waiting for you. I'm telling you, I got called. No one believes this. Someone contacted me on Facebook Messenger and said, hey, I saw your excerpt on a Steve Harvey show, And that was during COVID. And so we were all on screen and everything, and it was about morality. And I was saying how these women are giving wife energy to men that they're not a wife to. And that's why they're not getting married up. Like, hold out. Like, why you gonna give a man your married wife energy and you his girlfriend? He's gonna keep wanting that energy. And when you fall short. So believe it or not, 5,000 people liked my comment. And one of those people was a scouting talent agent in Los Angeles. And so this is during COVID, nobody's working. I had just finished The Coleman Show, which is a 10-episode sitcom on Amazon Prime and Tubi TV. So nobody was really doing anything. So I went ahead and I looked at the email. I'm like, this is a hoax. This is not no real agency. Who calls you through Facebook Messenger? And so I went and I looked up the agency. I'm like, this is a real place. This is in California.
Wow.
So I called Bella, but it was 2 months later because I didn't know it. And so I called them like, oh, you left this message. And they were like, oh, that was 2 months ago. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry to waste your time. They said, no, we're still interested in you. I'm like, what? So they did a video audition with me. And when the agent saw me, he was like, we're going to make a lot of money. That was what he said.
Rain down on me, right? That meant
he did. That's it. He said, we're going to make a lot of money. He said, you have a very authentic look. He said, Hollywood, you don't see a lot of afros. You don't see a lot of people smiling. People are more divas. He said, you got a down-to-earth personality. And they paid for me a one-way ticket to California. And I literally left 30 days later, January 15, 2021. I hit California, hit the ground running, and I haven't stopped.
Wow. So in the spectrum of your 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, what is that looking like today?
It looks like the exact same thing. I can count it. Okay, so
you just stayed on the road. It was steady. So
even through COVID, it was steady. Now, I will say this. When I first came to California in 2021, SAG had lost the commercial contract. So that was a way for non-SAG actors to get in there. I was not a SAG actor. I'm not a SAG actor today. I just don't believe in paying a fee when I knew I could do the same thing that they wanted me to do before. Whether it was money or not money, at this point, the success kind of took me by surprise. I wasn't surprised that I was working as much as I was working. I was surprised at the volume, and it was like sticker shock. You sit here and you come in and you do a commercial and you're having fun and you're getting paid to have fun, and you get your makeup done and you're getting a manicure depending on if you have to hold a bag or not. And the money was really good. So I was on Casting Networks, which is the largest casting network in the world, where you go on, you put some pictures up. If you have any video, you put video up. If you don't, you get a professional headshot. And the headshot that I use now, still to this day, my main headshot is a headshot I took with Gil Talent with April Maria back in 2019. And they think that I look the same. And that's it right there. There it is.
There it is.
I still use that headshot today. And
nobody. You look vibrant in all the ways that matter.
And look, Bella, it wasn't typical.
Right.
It was people told me you don't wear red, you don't wear dangle earrings, you only wear a pair of studs, you wear a white shirt, you wear this, that. And I came in like, I'm gonna work this. Because what I found is that if in Chicago, the flavor wasn't so different, and if they liked what I was wearing, then I was just going to keep it up. And my agent saw it. They was like, I see no reason to change it. And I've even come up with other headshots during the time. Not one time that people come in there and say, that don't look like you. But I've heard it and seen it happen with other people. Like, next.
In other words, what you're saying is that people knew what they were getting, and that ideally was part of the ability for you to continue to advance. They didn't have to guess if you'd show up tomorrow with locks in your hair.
That's right. They knew it. They knew it was here.
Different. You always look the same. There was this, yes, they could count on it. And
I'm not gonna lie, I'm in a niche.
And another thing I'm paying attention to is you weren't trying to lose a lot of weight.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I was in a niche.
You weren't going to be taller. You were going to be the exact same thing.
And so I remained it through the whole time. And that's what I was saying. I was in a niche. I was in a grandmother niche. I wasn't too old that I wouldn't appeal to older people. And I wasn't so young that I wouldn't appeal to like younger people. I was just like right there. So I was like the new, even though I was like, that's 5 years. How long is it? 7 years? Even though I was just turning in my 50s, I was the new 60. I was the new 70 because every role that I applied for had grandmother between 60 and 70 years old. And I just started applying for it. And they would say, like, you're the new 60 or, you know, you're the new 70. And so I wasn't trying to lose weight. You know, I'm naturally loving and happy. So they were like, this is natural. You're not trying to be a diva. You're not, you got getting fake boobs. And well, I couldn't get a fake butt because girls, too much of that anyway.
What I'm hearing is that there was reliability. So is that a suggestion you would make to other people? Like Tracy is saying, how do I get to this here point where I can become more? She's talking about background stuff, but you're saying, she says, help me get my start in background acting.
No, I helped her get her start in background acting. That's what I think she's trying to say.
She helped you to do that.
Yeah, no. I told her about it.
Okay.
Tracy and I was a part of a breast cancer group. And I told her, you know, start off doing background. And so she went on her first audition. I told people she was coming and everything. And she started doing background. So it helped it. But I thought, I really still think to this day that having a basis of what to know when you get on set was the key element. Like, and you can't get that if you've never done it. So background taught me so much. So when I got in set, I knew exactly what to do, but now I'm the main character and it's like everything is new to me. And every single time I pray, and that's the truth. Before I go into any door, when I get out the car or whatever, Almighty God, Jehovah, if it's for me, it's for me. Let them see the real me. And if they like me, that's what they're going to get. And every time before I go in the door and I come in there, you invited me in. Let me show you what you saw in that picture, I'm going to show you in real life. And they appreciate it. And it's just the truth. And it's gotten me some major things with the Amazon commercial. I booked it by myself. I was so scared. I have no idea. I saw it online. Said looking for grandmothers with a great smile, 60 to 70 years old, African-American, Caucasian, white. I went to this audition. It was my first in-person audition in LA because we were still just coming out of COVID and everybody was like, oh, it's so great to be back. It's fantastic. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it was my first time. And so I went.
So why don't you say, who were some of the people that you got to work with that were like names in the industry that you say that you would say now you began to glean more inspiration by the set you were on with the people that were booked in that set that you would be in that set for? Yeah. Now,
I would not have said this until today, actually, but I just saw the movie Saw, Straw with Taraji, and
right,
Taraji. And working with Taraji and all the background scenes that we did for hours and hours and hours. Like I saw in this particular movie something in her that I never saw. She would always show up. She would be on time, you know, she would come to set. But it never seemed to me like, for me, I'm hard on myself. So, you know, entertainment is something that I feel comes naturally to some people. Honestly, I do. And sometimes it doesn't. But I saw her doing a performance and I was like, all of those times that I saw her when she was on Empire and and working closely with her or whatever, it was a drive. And to me, I saw that drive come to fruition in this movie, Straw. And so my inspiration has always just been to be me, honestly, as natural as I can be, which is why, even though I've done 4 movies, I've always loved commercial acting, because commercial acting is just me put in different scenes. It's not me trying to develop a character. It's not me trying to, rely on someone else. So when I booked the Amazon commercial, it was a worldwide commercial. There were 100 other grandmothers there. And I went in there, and I'm larger, right? So the scene was supposed to be, you haven't seen your grandchildren in 2 years, and you look up and they're there in front of you, and you just grab them and you kiss them. And when I went in there, they said, okay, we want you to act like you haven't seen your grandchildren in 2 years. So I was like, come here, baby. Come here, get over here. And so the cameraman was like, okay, we know it's been 2 years, but that's a little. So I hear this boom, 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 hear this running. And this guy comes out of the background. Wait, stop it. No, Henri, do it just like that. I want you to do it just like that. Do it again, all right? Do it again. And I was like, okay. I mean, boom, 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 boom. He runs in the back. It's a director. And the director.
Stop telling her to stop. Yeah, I can't do like what she did. But yeah.
The director, he saw all of this jumping up and down and moving and stuff. No, do it just like that. And so I was so jazzed. When I left, I was like, these grandmothers are from all over the world. I called my friends. I'm like, I did a Facebook Live. I just went on my first live audition in Hollywood, and it's grandmothers from all over the world. And I think I got the commercial, and it's just going to be wonderful. And so they gave me the call back, and they said, we want to book you. And at the time, I didn't have an agent that I was working with. And so I got scared. So the guy that called me, we had stopped, communicating, because I was going out on auditions myself and self-tapes and stuff. And I said, oh my God, I booked the Amazon commercial. He's like, what? How did you do that? I said, I applied for it. So he said, you want me to handle it? I'm like, yes, handle it. I was scared. Bella, I got in hair and makeup. They did my hair. They gave me a facial. They were doing my fingernail, manicure, everything. I'm like, oh my God, is this really my life? Lord, thank you. Long story short, I get there and I'm the only character. They picked me out of 100 other women. It's my commercial. And my heart almost stopped in my chest. And I was so nervous. They, Henri, welcome to your living room. I get in this living room. I got on my costume. There's pictures of me when I was younger and my grandkids. And that Amazon commercial ran viral. It had over 10 million views all over the world in the first week. And then over 1 billion times that people have seen me around the world just for that one commercial. And that set it off in my head. Like, I just got to keep going. So, wow. And I did.
Well, we're going to take a break, and I'm 1 billion. Come on now. There's a lot to say when you say 1 billion.
2 commercials, just 2, 1 billion.
And what's the name of the 2 first? The 2 commercials again before I go to this commercial?
Verzenio breast cancer and a medication. And I did the voiceover work in that as well. And then the Amazon commercial, just with those 2 commercials alone, over 2 billion views.
And when you, and I know I'm going to commercial, but I want to say, and one of the things that we have to think about too, who we work for makes a difference too, right?
Absolutely.
You were just Verzenio, what is it? Verzenio breast cancer. Right?
Verzenio. Yeah, there is Eli Lilly is one of the top pharmaceutical companies in the world, and pharmaceuticals have the money and they pay the money and they keep it running and running for as long as you want.
A huge conversation, to this day, you see more and more women pile on and say, I was just diagnosed with breast cancer.
Yes.
So I can see that commercial winning over. And then you're the demographic, right? They
absolutely. And I'm also a breast cancer survivor. That's how Tracy Kincaid and I met.
Right.
So it was already in my head, you know, that I was just going to be me, and that's what they wanted. And it just had phenomenal success. Like they ran it for like 2 years, but it was the biggest blessing.
Juanita says, was that the Bear Hug Betty commercial?
The Bear Hug Betty commercial was the Amazon.
Yes.
And that was shown worldwide. They both were worldwide.
I've seen both of those commercials, but I mean, kudos for you. Oh man, let me go to my commercial. I'll be right back. Okay, am I ready? Girl, we only got a few minutes left. I'm trying to get the most out of it. We'll be right back.
The Soulful Chicago Book Fair, Woodlawn's premier summer event, returns to 61st Street between Cottage Grove and King Drive, Saturday, August 9th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Join us for another celebration of literary works by and about the Black experience, featuring children's books, fiction books, and non-fiction works by local and international authors. The main stage will host an entertainment lineup second to none, with Pari Lemuel, Aniba and the Soul Stars, and the mesmerizing Moo Moo Fresh. Special guest, DJ Celeste. The community stage features a variety of family-friendly performances, such as DJ sets produced by IC Music, an organization that trains and promotes blind audio engineers. All this and more, Saturday, August 9th, free and open to all. Be there.
I'm Ree, we're back, and there's a lot to talk about as we close out, but you had something you wanted to share with us. And let me just say thank you. I think I need to have you back for another 2 hours. And there was something you wanted to share with everybody while you were here today. And I want to get to that. And It's a phenomenal story, and your book will be wonderful. You know,
thank you. I feel like that.
Your work, what you've done, absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You know, I'm just proud of you, period. I'm one of the people who are your fans and your friend. Yeah.
And it's the same way with both of us. And I think that's a lot of reason why we connect. I remember telling you just last week, I'm like, wow, just listening to you, you're so inspirational and such a cool person. And this is really how you are naturally. You have been one of the coolest people I've known since I've been like 19, 20 years old. Seriously, no joke. And I don't know. I'm just so inspired. I'm inspired by what you're doing. I'm inspired how you're bringing women together, how you're getting us to have a voice. And I see how you interact even with your male people that come on and they're in your audience and things. So it's just you, girl. It's not male. It's not woman to woman. It's woman to person. I mean, I would look at your video with your plants. You even got a relationship with your plants. It's like,
you got to live with what you got. So please, let's just move into it. I want to give you this moment to share what your news is that you want to let us know.
Okay. So guys, it's a very bittersweet thing, but in Senabella, this is the first time I'm announcing it basically to the world is I am stopping commercial acting. I have one commercial left that I'm going to be doing on the 25th, and I'm moving to Nigeria, and I'm trying my hand at Nollywood.
Okay, here we go. Let me have this moment. What? You don't stop making your money here and you going to Nollywood? I hope you stacked your change.
It's been a work in progress. It's been going on almost for 2 years now. I had some interest when I went, but it takes time for you to get your licenses to be able to go over there. to be able to work there, you have to get everything together. I'm pretty well set up. I've been going back and forth. This will be my 4th time going, and I'm moving. Like if you look around my place, you can see little pink tags or blue tags around things. I am selling everything, and I am with a really good producer and director, and I'm moving down there. 65 years old. I'm going 8,300 miles away, and I'm going to be starting a different chapter of my life.
Congratulations. You know, that is super amazing. I have family in Africa. We've been on that journey for like the last 40 years. So
Wow.
we can talk about that offline. But congratulations. What a bold, wonderful move. What inspiration you bring to women 50 plus. You know, you're beautiful, resilient, outstanding, really wonderful to know and engage and talk to. My personal friend. So that's like one just added feature. But the real truth is that you are a feature for everybody. And we all need to be inspired. In times that we live in, we're asking ourselves, what will we do? How will we advance? How will we go forward? What is going to be that twist on the cap that says, okay, this was my mark. I know you'll be coming back. I know we'll see more of you. I don't think anybody's going to let you just go to Nigeria and there be no more commercials.
No,
but
I'll still be coming back. I'll be coming back.
But I love that you're sewing into your fabric the next part of your journey, and that it's not too tired, and that it's not too tired. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Juanita's like, Nigeria, congratulations. Bill Morton says, congratulations on your new job. My cousin.
Thank
Flora,
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
This is amazing, amazing. Congratulations, congratulations. It was wonderful. It's amazing. It's wonderful. You know, I think that's just, I'll say, I don't know why it's showing me as you, but I'm not going to can you switch that camera over? That's Henri over there. Anyway, this is Senabella with Coffee Break, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful hour of Henri Salas or Henri Salas, and I'm going to catch up with you in a minute, girl.
Okay, girl. Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
Yes, ma'am. It was. You are something else. Okay, folks, that was Henri Salas Chillers. This is Senabella's just signing off. Thanking you for coming in. Please share this video. Get other people to see what we're doing here. Be inspired, be motivated, and keep joining in and supporting the Female Solution. It's been a wonderful hour. Have a good day. Take care. See you next Friday, 7 a.m., right here with all the rest of the Coffee Breakers.